The night stretched out before me like a vast, dark canvas as I gripped the steering wheel of my semi-truck, the road disappearing into the shadows ahead. It was just me and the open highway. The only sounds the hum of the engine and the occasional crackle of the radio. I'd been driving for hours, the monotony of the road lulling me into a drowsy trance. But I knew I had to keep pushing on, had to make my delivery by dawn or risk losing my job. As I rounded a bend in the road, something caught my eye, a figure standing on the shoulder, bathed in the sickly glow of the moon. At first I thought it was a hitchhiker, someone stranded in the middle of nowhere. But as I drew closer, I realized how wrong I was. The figure wasn't human at all. It was tall and slender, its limbs elongated and twisted at unnatural angles. Its eyes gleamed like twin points of fire, fixing me with a gaze that sent a shiver down my spine. I tried to look away, to focus on the road ahead, but I couldn't tear my eyes from the creature's gaze. And then, with a sudden movement that was too fast to follow, it was gone, disappearing into the darkness like a wisp of smoke. I shook my head, trying to clear the cobwebs from my mind. It had to have been a trick of the light, a figment of my imagination brought on by too many hours behind the wheel. But deep down, I knew the truth. There was something out there on the highway with me, something that defied explanation and reason. I pushed the accelerator to the floor, eager to put as much distance between myself and that thing as possible. But no matter how fast I drove, I couldn't shake the feeling that it was still out there, lurking just beyond the reach of my headlights. And then, just when I thought I couldn't take it anymore, I saw it. A flash of movement in the rearview mirror, a shadow darting across the road behind me. I slammed on the brakes, bringing the truck to a screeching halt in the middle of the highway. My heart pounded in my chest as I scanned the darkness, searching for any sign of the creature that haunted my nightmares. But there was nothing. No sound except for the wind whispering through the trees and the distant rumble of the engine. I sat there for what felt like an eternity, my hands trembling on the steering wheel. And then, with a sudden burst of courage, I reached for the gear shift and slammed the truck into reverse, determined to confront whatever lurked in the darkness behind me. The road stretched out before me, empty and desolate, the only sound the crunch of gravel beneath the tires. And then, just when I thought I couldn't take it anymore, I saw it. The figure, standing in the middle of the road, its eyes burning with an otherworldly fire. I slammed on the brakes, the truck skidding to a halt just inches from the creature's outstretched hand. And then, with a sudden burst of movement, it lunged forward, its fingers brushing against the windshield like the touch of death itself. I screamed, the sound lost in the darkness as the creature vanished into the night. And then, just like that, it was gone, leaving me alone on the highway with nothing but my fear and the pounding of my heart. I don't know how long I sat there, frozen in terror, but eventually, the first light of dawn began to creep over the horizon, casting long shadows across the road. With trembling hands, I put the truck into gear and continued on my journey. The memory of that night burned into my mind like a brand. And though I tried to tell myself it was just a trick of the mind, just a nightmare brought on by exhaustion and fear, a part of me knew the truth. There are things out there on the highway, things that defy explanation and reason. And no matter how fast you drive, you can never truly escape the darkness that lurks just beyond the reach of your headlights. So guys, that's all for today. If you liked the story, then make sure you hit the subscribe button for more haunted stories.